Okay, so we have been able to do the preparation for our VAT tax audit or the VAT tax health check. We have been able to go to the business information and then populated all the information that we have. We have determined our industry, the supply. We have also gone ahead to look at the year, our 10 tax office, and we also came down and then populated our bank statement information for the year. We've done all these things. So the next is to be able to populate the actual other information to be able to prepare the tax audit for the year. So we come to the VAT input information. Input information, please. Some of the information come here automatically, and we always advise that over here, what we're going to do is that we are going to we are actually going to put in our sales, our VAT returns, our VAT payments, and our financial information. Then the system will do the calculation of all the tax exposures and let us know how much liability that are there for us as an entity to pay. And these are a lot of information to provide. But what we do is that we have given you a template that you populate and then upload. Mind you, let's start again. Anytime you start, you might have done it for the previous year. Might have done it for 2019, and you're not coming to do for 2020. So please, you always need to go delete all previous data. Delete all previous data. This has deleted all previous data so that you can populate new information to prepare your audit. So I'll go to bulk upload. The bulk upload will give us a link to generate an Excel template that we are going to populate. So we have a link over here. We have generated an Excel template that we are going to populate to provide the information. So we have this information here. That's template we are going to provide on monthly basis. On monthly basis, because VAT you file it on monthly basis. So you are going to provide our purchase invoice. That's our purchases that we made within the year. That's on monthly basis. Standard purchases. If we did imported services that we did not use to we did not use to further production or further supply. We provide all here. Our purchase invoice, the flat. If we made any purchase that was at flat rate, the VAT is different. So we provide all those information. Our import amount. We made some importation of goods. So we provide all these things. Then we have sales, standard sales. So we come to the sales. So sales that we made during the year. This information will be coming from our ledger, our sales ledger. So our sales amount, we gave a sales discount. Sales discounts will be provided, and then there was some sales return as well will be provided. Then we made sales. Did you do any flat rate sales? Normally, we are not likely to have both flat and the standard at the same time. The reason is if you go beyond, you are in the range of standard, is standard for all. So did you do any flat sales? And then did you do any zero rated sales? You did export sales, you did sales to exempt entities and co. But please, let me explain this. If you make sales to a company or an entity that tells you that they have VAT exemption, it does not mean that you should not charge VAT. It's a normal standard sales. So you ought to have charged a VAT. Then if they have a VRPO, which in my opinion, VRPO is totally outlawed. So if they have a VRPO, they give you a VRPO. So those ones do not come in here, but those that have a re-exemption, then you provide them over here. Those are, you don't charge them the VAT. Then you have the payment that you made. You might have made payment for VAT, that for standard VAT, for flat, for the levies, that's the NHIL and then COVID levy and the get fund. So you provide them here. So you provide the date, you provide the receipt number, the amounts, the payment date, because it's going to look at the payment date and when it was due to do the calculation of your interest and co. So your flat, the date, all counts the date and then the amount and then the receipt numbers. You go to the levies as well and CST as well. We didn't bring in the tourism levy because tourism levy is not part of the tax that you pay to the GRA. So it won't come here. So then you are going to have your actual. So at the end of the month, you filed returns, your actual sales that you reported, you are going to provide it. At times, it becomes different from your sales ledger. The amount could be different from what you actually reported because of maybe how you do your VAT reporting. So your actual sales, then actual import, the actual import VAT that you actually filed, then actual you have your filing date, you have your filing date over here. So this bit is actually your standard, your actual return that you filed, the actual returns, sales that's your actual VAT standard. That's the actual purchases that you actually filed, not resales, actual purchases that you actually filed with GRA. Then you also have the actual import VAT that you actually filed with GRA. So it's going to look at your purchase and your import VAT and then put it together to get your total purchase for the month. All right. So the filing date. Then you are going to have your revenue. The revenue, that is the actual revenue that you filed with GRA, actual revenue. So when you find your annual returns, you had your sales, the actual sales, and then you had your purchases. So over here is the purchases that we have actually entered here. So here, when you come here, is the revenue, the actual sales that you made during the year, which you filed, not necessarily you made during the month, but you filed with GRA at the end of the month. So you go to your VAT return and you pick the sales value that you filed with them. Please, when you are picking this information, because of the effect of the levies on the exclusive amount, these figures are the exclusive amount. So normally it's advisable that you go to the levies return and you pick the sales. It is over there that you are going to get the sales. So then you also have your revenue, that is the export that you actually exported. Then your flat rate, the sales that you made at flat rate, sales that you made at flat rate. These are for the return that you actually filed, returns that you actually filed. It is not your ledger. It is not your sales ledger, neither is it your financial statement. It is the return that you actually filed on the GRA taxpayer portal, the return that you actually filed. Because here we have the return that you filed, and then at the beginning of it, we also have the information in the ledger, so that when there are differences, the system will be able to determine them and look at whether you under declared, over declared, and then do the appropriate calculation for you. So we want to pick information that we have already populated, and then we already have and populate it over here. So quickly, let me pick information that we already have, and then we'll do that here. Okay, so we have it here, our input information here. Okay, so we want to start with our purchases. Let me pick all these purchases. So let me just okay, right. So let me populate it here. I have my purchases here for the month. So I have the flat and then the import amount. Okay. So the imports that I have actually imported. Okay. So we have it over here as well. Sales. Then I'll go to my sales data. So I'll come here and do my sales. So sales discount, sales return. So I have my sales discount and the return. I have it here. So let me just populate it over here. Okay, I have it, everything. Then sales flat amount. This I had the first type was standard. So I'll come to my sales flat. So I'll just quickly pick my sales flat. Okay, so we're adding the flat rate. Normally, if you are doing VAT return at the standard rate, you are not likely to have a flat rate at the same time because of the how you be categorized. But for the purpose of presentation, also purpose of showing how to do it, we are adding the flat rate to it. So we have the flat rate. We have inputted that of the standard. We are going to input the information regarding the flat rate. That's a sales that we made that are flat rate. Sales that we made that are at flat rate. So we have it here, and we populate it over here nicely. Then we go to zero rated. If you made any zero rated export sales and co, those that were exempt and co, we also provide them here. We add exempt and zero rated because the taxation is the same. Then we come and populate our payments that we have made for the year. So we might have made payment for VAT, payment for communication service, payment, any other payment. So we are picking one particular year that we have made payment. So we have payment January to December. So payment standard. So we have the standard receipt. For the receipt area is not compulsory, but it's important that you provide so I can give you a good analytics. So we have it here, payment populated, the payment date. We are using 2024, so let's use a 2024 date. Other than that, to throw out a different report that we do not wish to have. So payment date, well populated here. Please let me just change it to date. Okay. Payment for flat rate. Payment for flat rate. So we have January to December, payment for flat rate. So if you are filing return on flat rate and you made any payment for flat rate, so you provide it as well. And quickly we have to provide the date. Let me use the same as the payment. Okay, date. We change it to short. Oh, we've put the date at the amount. So let's put it over here, please. And then the amount, we have the amount over here. Levies that you must have done. Levies. So let's go to levies and pick. So maybe January to December. These are levies that you are paying. Normally, let's say we are picking the same date. Okay, so these are the amounts. Please, I ended up putting the amount at the description of the receipt. So this is not correct, so I've taken it out. You need to actually bring the receipt numbers over here, but though it's not compulsory, it's not a compulsory area to put the information, but it's optional actually. So let me go into the communication service tax. Communication service tax, these are the amount up to December. Communication service tax, the amount that I paid and the date. Let me just pick the same date over here. Then so the returns, then we are going to the returns that you filed. The VAT actual returns that you filed. The actual returns that you actually filed. Actual returns that you filed. Input. So these are the actual returns that you filed. So VAT. So we have both standard and then imported service. There's the import. You have it here, and then the filing date. When did you file these returns? So the actual filing dates, okay. Actual filing date. These are the filing dates, the date on which you file these returns. So let me populate it over here nicely as well. Then we go to our revenue. Revenue. That's the VAT revenue that you filed. When you're filing your VAT, the revenue that you filed, the income revenue that you filed. And here's also I was explaining earlier that it will be advisable that you pick the revenue for what you use to file the levies. The reason is if you use that one, the revenue that you use to file the standard, the amount that comes over there are inclusive of the levy amount. But this one we want the VAT exclusive amount. So we have it here. Okay, so we've had our export, zero rated, and then flat rate. Okay, we have our template nicely populated. All information is in there. So we save it at where we can find it. We save it where we can find it. So test 1. Then close it, because if you don't close it, you will not be able to attach it. Then we come back to the system, and when we come back to the system, we are going to attach the file that we just populated. We come back to the system, go to bulk, upload, and choose file. It takes us to where it is the file that we just populated. Double click and upload Excel. Successful. If everything is correct, everything is fine, say successful. So successful. It being successful, then I can click bulk VAT input info upload. Having done this, this has populated the various templates that the system is using, the various templates the system is using to do the calculations. So it has done everything. So I can go and then download my report, view the reports that the system is giving me now based on the information that I have provided. So quickly, I'll have to close. I'll end this session. Then we'll do another session on how to download the various reports or view the various reports that the system is actually giving us. Please, if you have any challenge, do not be worried. Come to us and we will assist you to resolve all those challenges. Thank you.